bring two speakers that are going to assist us with the next steps of for this mechanism, because at the end of the day, it's about the mechanism that we've come here about. We will have 5 minutes each of the speakers, and can we start right away, Luis?
Thank you, Thabi. Thank you, Thabi, and thank you, Peter, for an impeccable organization and the preparation for the meeting. So what I was thinking when in preparation for these 5 minutes was what has changed since Essence mechanism began in 2008? What are those changes leading to the new approaches, and what are some of the challenges ahead? And in a nutshell, I thought that what has changed has been a lot of things. So we need to take stock of what has happened. We have progressive agreement on indicators that go all the way to the SDGs. So although we have like 47 indicators in the observatory, the fact is that the observatory does have, for example, some of the key indicators that are about the SDGs, that are the ones that the countries are getting for everything else related to UN, for example. And in our region, at least, all our countries in the past 4 years came to agree on one of those indicators. And I think that was a great achievement when we want to simplify them. The late Hans Rosling reminds me of the challenges of staying current. I think that's one of the big challenges, being able to know where we are as things change and be able to put that in simple words, as I think he did very nicely. Now, are those changes leading to new approaches? Well, I think we have an unfinished agenda of adjustments, of integration and working with local capacities. And I think that has come across very nicely in the presentations here, how things have changed in different ways, in different settings. And a range of low and middle income countries now have policies and agendas, but they also invest in research for health. And I saw that very clearly now with the COVID-19. I've participated in the selection processes for projects in some countries where they are doing research specific for their needs, funded by the country. And I think there's also the opportunity of working in a collaborative way to increase the power of that research. And what are some of the challenges ahead, the way forward? I believe the big things are the integration and coordination. I think that's where we have a lot of the challenges, but also I would highlight, and thanks to Michelle for bringing part of this up, gender and ethnic inequities that we have in research. Clearly, we need to build those capacities to scale up available technologies to enhance and develop research for health and innovation, and to improve monitoring and evaluation so that we have big data contributing to it and dealing with complexity. So those are some of the big things I have. Thinking of the massive transformation, I think we have witnessed how global, regional, and national policy frameworks have developed. We have a global strategy on research for health and on health system research. We have, in the Americas, for example, regional policy on research for health, and we need to promote its adherence to it and support for it. Big data on capacities, outputs, and resources for research. I think we still have fragile governance and stewardship, but that's an area that is continuously developing in many countries, and some are doing pretty well. Local funding and engagement, which I already mentioned, adoption and growth of research registries and research reporting standards. Overall, I would say that the idea of transparency and participation in research has evolved in a very important way. Not just for clinical trials, but we have research registries for observational studies. We have research registries that cover secondary research. So I think we need to think about integration of some of these, but this is a huge change in the past 15 years, as well as the expansion of knowledge translation platforms and strategies into the countries that are getting integrated with the governance of health itself. Momentum and opportunity to reinvigorate science and innovation that was just brought up. We have to use this opportunity, and I think that that's a key issue. Finally, I would mention that we have to unleash the power of the purse in a way. We have here the funders, and the funders can increase the value of research and reduce research waste by promoting accountability and the uptake of standards and the fulfillment of policies, access to knowledge and equitable partnerships. I think we need to develop simple tools to guide us on doing that. If we had checklists to make sure that we are asking when we find a project that is registered, that is fulfilling, that has the research reporting standards, every one of those elements that are there dispersed so that they get integrated into the process, that would be a great help. And then I would say the push for gender and ethnic balance in research, I think that's a very important thing that we need to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Luis. I'm asking people to store whatever it is that you have just mentioned to us, which was so rich. For me, I did pick up that you mentioned integration and coordination at least more than twice. And you mentioned gender issues being important at least more than twice too. And so I'm asking people to just make sure that you make notes from this particular section. We're going to have a discussion at the end of the two speakers. That's why I'm asking you to make small notes on the side. The next speaker will be John. Is John Reader with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much. You can go ahead.